Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here, and after week 1 of the NFL season, I think a picture is becoming pretty clear in the NFC East, and it's very early, but based on everything we saw, I just think you can look at the New York Giants and just say they just have a lot of different experience that everyone else in that division doesn't have, and they have a lot of circumstances rolling on their side, which should help them run away with this division. And we all know last season was a largely down year for this division, and now when we look at it and there's a lot more fluid consistency on the Giants side, I do think that they should be able to run away with this division. But the Eagles certainly have a lot of positivity to be happy about, and Carson Wentz had a very good debut, 22 of 37, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, and led the Eagles to a 29-10 win over the Browns. And obviously when you're a rookie quarterback, you want to start your first game at home, and starting it against the Cleveland Browns, that's just kind of a little bit more sweetness on top of that. But you have to look at Wentz, and to me, it's very easy to tell when a young quarterback looks poised, has demeanor, and has command over the offense. And to me, he looked very poised in the pocket. He didn't look phased at all, making changes at the line of scrimmage, pointing his guys in the right direction. It's intimidating for a young guy to have to go out there, make all those changes, look at what the defense is showing him, and just own the poise, own the pocket. But he really did. I think if you're an Eagles fan, that's a very, very strong showing for your quarterback in his first game. And again, it's against the Browns, but that doesn't really matter, because in your first game, you just want to see how calm does he look, how poised does he look, can he own the room. And I think Carson Wentz clearly owned it, and he looked very good his first game. The Giants get it done over the Cowboys 20-19, the first time in their history they opened their season on the road against the Cowboys with a win. They were 0-8 before that, so they get a win there. But for the Giants, to me, the thing I saw in this game is what I think can separate them from everyone else in this division and can make them one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL. And it's just that ability to get the ball to everyone. It's that ability to just... There's not a lot of teams who can just show so much ability and can just distribute the ball to so many people. Cruz scored a touchdown. Donnell scored a touchdown. Sterling Shepard, the rookie sensation who's been raved about all offseason, was able to pull in a touchdown. The running game had some sizable contributions to this game. Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't find the end zone, but again, we know how many times he's going to be able to come down with big catches, and in this game, he didn't disappoint in that regard at all. But still, you look at it, options are always a good thing to have in the NFL, and the Giants certainly have those options on offense, and it's going to make Eli Manning's life easier. It's going to make the speed at which they want to play it easier, and it's a balance. It really is. I don't think at all times last season the Giants had that balance with the health issue to Cruz. I still think they were looking for another receiver to help compensate and help out Odell Beckham. Now they have that. Shepard, Donnell, Cruz, all those guys working together, and the running game behind that. Vereen looked good. Obviously, Rashad Jennings had some nice runs. So the Giants' trademark, obviously Ben McAdoo has been an offensive coordinator. He's an offensive guy. Should be on offense. And when I look at the level of just different options they can throw at people, the different level that they can continually to have, I think this Giants offense could really be the calling card for them, and all the options they have could be the thing that sets them apart and wins this division for them. And defensively, we know was the crux of their team last season, but I do think you're going to have to look at that and think it's going to be much, much better. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are the interesting case. Dak Prescott, if you ask me, I'm a big college football guy. When he was playing at Mississippi State, if he would have been starting the season for the Dallas Cowboys after the NFL draft, probably never ever would have signed up for that. But he obviously hasn't looked. He had a great preseason, and he didn't do anything to embarrass himself in this game. He didn't throw the ball down the field, but for a young guy like that, he's in a difficult situation. They're not going to want to make him throw a lot of balls down the field where he's not most comfortable. Everything for him was kind of short and sweet, but 25 of 45 for him, 227 yards, led the Cowboys down the field and put them in position to put points on the board their first 3 drives. So I certainly don't think you could blame the game on Dak Prescott there, and having the running game of Ezekiel Elliott clearly helped him as well. But the Cowboys are in a very tough spot until Romo gets back, and the question has been discussed. Is it the end for Tony Romo? What do the Cowboys do? The target date is like week 9 for him, week 8. That's a very long time. And can Dak win some games in this league? I think he's shown enough where he's got the physical acumen to succeed in this league, but it's just very difficult to make that claim right now. Obviously, in the first game, he showed some good things, but it's so difficult for a guy like that. And Mississippi State's not really known for their prolific offensive and their prolific passing game. So for Dak, it wasn't the worst showing, obviously, but he's got a very difficult battle ahead of him. And then the Steelers 38-16 over the Redskins to finish out all of the Week 1 games for the NFC East. And the Redskins obviously were probably the one in that division who had the worst showing of the weekend. And I don't know. Last season, they get into the playoffs. They get hot of late. Kirk Cousins has a pretty good year. But there's just something weird with that team. You look at the running game when Alfred Morris left. That running game, you don't see a lot of consistency there. Cousins had 2 interceptions. The coaching staff on that team making a lot of questionable moves. And it really was very easy to tell that Steelers team was just too much of a mismatch for that Redskins team. And last season, that division was kind of there for the taking for anyone who wanted it. Nobody really took it, and the Redskins were there to kind of They are the ones who took it. They took advantage of that situation, but I do think very different this year. The Redskins look like they have a lot of inconsistency in a lot of areas. The Cowboys have the biggest issue of all without an identifiable quarterback, the young guy Dak being thrown into the fire. The Eagles have a young quarterback who's just going to continue to grow and learn, and the Giants have that experience I don't think anyone else has. They have so many options on offense. They look like they could be very well balanced. I look at the NFC East after week 1, and I do think that the Giants should be the team that can be able to run away with this division, but that's why you play the game and nothing is for certain. But I do think consistency, experience, balance on offense, options, all words that define the Giants and should allow them to win this division. But until the next time, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll catch everybody in the next episode.